Welcome to Double M Global Media. My name is Mwaura DK, bringing you Peru's of our news, making headlines in our country and across the nation, but also with parting shots, discussing a few things that affect our life with some philosophical shots. Today, let us start with El Nino. It's not over yet. Over 50,000 people have been affected along the Tana River by floods. And this has not only in Tana River has affected most parts in the country. We've seen in Mombasa, in the plains, in the lowlands. We are continuing to urge the government to up their efforts in reaching out to the vulnerable and people affected by this disaster. House under construction in Pangani collapses, killing two people. The victims were plastering 15th floor when the accident happened, and well wishers and eyewitnesses are blaming the safety measures during construction. Even as we blame the safety measures, there are some ethics in construction. We have had this accident so many times, and we have blamed it on safety measures and other issues, but also cutting cost by the contractors and the owners of this construction using substandard materials that have not been checked. Please, we ask, there should be some ethics and some laws and construction inspections during construction that will be able to prevent these kind of accidents happening. And also the loss that you as an owner or contractor will go after a building collapses. More so, the loss of life, we cannot equate that to anything. We are urging that every stakeholders involved to mind about the safety of our workers and the people involved. Buyers of land are advised to be extra careful when buying land. They are urged to involve lawyers and legal facilities as to avoid the risk involved. This has been going on for a very long time, where you've been sold a land that is fake. You've been given a fake title deed, and it comes from the Ministry of Lands, and you wonder how you get a fake title deed from the government. We urge you as an individual who is placing that investment, as before you commit your money, do your due diligence, involve a legal team so that you will secure your investment, and any kind of measures that you take those measures to prevent any kind of tussles that come along with land buying in our country. NCCK from Upper Eastern region urges the government to lower cost of living, asks the government to lower taxation rates and give full support to people affected by El Nino. We know that the church was very heavily involved in general election, especially in the 2022. Now they are asking the government to cut costs. Now my question would be to you, how far should the church be involved in politics of our country? I know it is hard to separate the church from the state, but also the people given the obligation at the pulpit to teach us the word of truth and to help us understand the life and bring the good news. Should they be involved in politics, and how far should they? But now the leaders from the Upper Eastern region are asking the government to continue to up their effort in helping people who have been affected by El Nino. The Tondo North residents are at risk of consuming donkey meat. The donkeys are suspected to be stolen from nearby areas because there is no many donkeys in Gatondo. I don't think it is rude to ask your butcher where or what kind of meat you're buying. Who is to blame here when you consume game meat or donkey meat or cat samosas? Are these meat inspected, and by who? Who certifies what we consume? So these are questions that we need to ask the health department to get involved so that we can protect our health also. Daily farmers in Nyandarua, on a good news, they are benefiting from a training they have received from All Corral Dairies. The farmers appreciate the training, saying it will help them increase their milk productions and milk sales. These are good news where corporations are involved in capacity building, capacity building is very important when we're talking about increasing production. And we give thumbs up to the All Around Dairy facility for offering this capacity building initiative. Now to the politics. Rocking houses. Political parties, like families, can sometimes fall into the trap of infighting. The internal discord, when left unchecked, often spills over into the public arena, creating a spectacle of heated debates, public reprimands, and even physical altercations. These public displays of discord can erode public trust in the political process, leaving citizens disillusioned and disengaged. This is evidence in two major houses where the Kenya Kwanza thrives in the infightings within Azimio. And Azimio governors having and MPs fighting. In the recent past, we have seen Senator Charagai roasting his buddy and CS for Transport Kipchumba Murkomen. That feud is yet to be settled. Today, Raila Odinga was reconciling Mumia's MP Peter Salasya with Kakamega Governor Fernandez Barasa. The two have been up on each other's neck with speculations pointing to 2027 gubernatorial succession. It is true that someone will always rock the boat, literally. And my question to you, where are you coming from? Which county, which constituency? Who is rocking boat with who in your constituency? And what are they doing to prepare for 2027? Are they giving the services and taking out the constitution duties that they were elected for? Or are they laying ground to either go up higher? I have had some MCA say, I'm going to use this as my platform to become an MP. I'm going to use my MP to become a senator. I'm going to use my senator to become a governor. We use people as means, and this is wrong. You are elected for those 5 years. Concentrate on development, and the development work you have will be a testimony to your citizens and to your constituents. They will elect you based on your work. The office of the Kenyan First Lady came under serious criticism when a list of her entourage leaked amidst the claims that the government is cutting on the travel expenses. It is evident that Kenya is living large, and it is apparent that she cannot maintain her lifestyle. The little or much revenue collected may not be enough to cater for unnecessary baggage that government officials are tagging along. In the same tune, Nakuru governor is alleged to be spending most of her time abroad, and when she comes back, she visits areas where her support is dwindling massively. It is alleged that she dashes out 300 shillings to keep her name relevant. Not so long ago, the president was accused of traveling a lot without anything substantive to show for it. What are your thoughts when we elect our leaders and they spend a lot of time abroad while we are suffering with high cost of living and substandard services and expectations and promises not met? What are your thoughts? In the entertainment arena, the social media sensation Mr. Andrew Kibe, aka Kife, aka Mr. Lambistic, is in town. He has been all away for quite a while for reasons unclear to many. Recently, before he jetted back, he released a video claiming that someone might be out there to take his life, and he reiterated that he has lived long enough and he can easily lay down his life for whoever seeks to take it. He's famous for his extreme perspectives on how people should behave and can be ranked the same with Andrew Tate, Amarix, and Master, all found on Twitter, which now goes with the name X. Now, what are your thoughts about these social media celebrities and extremists and sensationalists that come to depict a certain kind of a lifestyle which themselves don't live, living beyond their means and making us feel bad because we cannot live by those means? So make your choice. Who do you follow? Who do you follow? Who is your role model in the social media arena? Thumbs up, Mr. Kibe. All the best, and we wish for your safety. Garsen and Galore MPs are missing after the boat they had left to distribute humanitarian aid in Tana Delta region failed to return with the others that had left the base together. Honorable Ali Wario Guyo and his neighbor Hilibey Said Buya, together with the three MCs, joined other humanitarians with an intent of feeding with their constituencies, but their boat was reported missing when it failed to return at Garsen base. It is our hope that they are safe and they will be found. My prayer is we continue to pray for their families and the people of Garsen and Galore, and we pray that they will be found safely. Also, we continue to urge the government to up their assistance to the people affected by El Nino rains and floods. For the parting shot, how do people mistake good leaders for vampires and egoistic individuals? And this is our reflection. It is evident that evil inheres in good. No one chooses evil for its own sake, but mostly mistakes it with an apparent good. In seeking to do noble and righteous deed, a choice is made on a viable good, but it turns out to be evil, guised in immediate gratifying needs or want. This also happens in the political spheres. Now, in the murky realms of politics, the distinction between virtuous and villainy can often blur, leading into the unfortunate predicament of individuals mistaking deceitful demagogues for genuine patriots. These misguided perceptions, fueled by a yearning for national pride and a longing for strong leadership, can pave the way for the rise of unscrupulous politicians who cloak their self-serving ambitions in the guise of patriotism. These self-proclaimed saviors adapt at exploiting populist sentiments and manipulating public discourse, often emerge during periods of national insecurity or economic hardship. They capitalize on the public's vulnerability, often simplistic solutions and scapegoats, while subtly weaving a narrative of national exceptionalism and blind allegiance. The allure of these false patriots lies in their ability to tap into the deep-seated desire for national unity and strength. They evoke feelings of pride and belonging, promising to restore the nation's glory and protect its citizens from the perceived threats. However, beneath the veneer of patriotism lies a web of deceit and self-serving motives. These politicians, often driven by a lust for power and personal gain, exploit the public's trust to advance their own agenda, often at the expense of the nation's well-being. The consequences of mistaking evil for good can be devastating. The erosion of democratic institutions, the suppression of dissent, and the exploitation of national resources are just a few of the potential outcomes when power falls into the hands of those who prioritize their own interest over the welfare of the nation. Therefore, it is imperative to exercise critical thinking and discernment when evaluating political leaders. Patriotism, while a noble sentiment, should not be substitute for reason and ethical scrutiny. It is our responsibility to hold our leaders accountable, to question their motives, and to demand that their actions align with the true principles of democracy and justice. This is Maura DK at M Global Media. Thank you for joining us. We meet again tomorrow at Peru's desk at M Global Media. Thank you for joining us.